This was probably the best interview we've done so far.
Definitely.
Oh my god. Okay, I am just taking this bit and I'll put it on my Instagram. Yes. George said. This is Radio City Indie Exchange, and guess what? I don't have to even spell out how happy I am because I have our very own Chennai-based act, the F16s, joining us. Everyone's, I think, joining me from Chennai. So, Harshan, Joshua, Abhinav, Shashank, welcome to Radio City. We know this happy quartet as the F16s. And I just happened to check out two of their tracks. And first of all, this is such a mad bunch. I wouldn't know how else do you see band members posing in aprons. So first of all, let me ask you guys, was there a conscious attempt to challenge some gender role or something?
We were just caught mid baking cake, and we just happened to have makeup on. We were caught mid baking because of the pandemic. All of us became banana bakers and like
Tea cakes, Earl Grey tea cakes.
Earl
All great tea cakes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
We're
really
not.
good.
It sounds funny, but we're not joking. We were baking, and then we got caught mid bake. We had aprons on, and yeah, I guess it looked good, and we were like, hey, you know what? Let's put this picture out with a song.
So I had the pleasure of listening to both I'm on a Holiday and Easy Wake, Easy Bake. First of all, really eccentric music videos for both songs. And of course, you all have a brand new EP also coming out. Is that a conscious attempt to challenge this whole social disparity that we have? Is it like a conscious attempt to challenge this whole divide that is there between the richer and the
Not
less?
a challenge. I don't know, challenging, yes, but for us it was more of just either you could say creating awareness or just shining a light on the fact that it exists. Because when our previous work came out with Weekend Friends and stuff, it had more to do with just us hanging out with people and being more laid back than we normally would be. Then with the pandemic happening the way it did, there were things that took place in the first 3 months, especially when we were locked in together, that you just noticed either looking through your phone and whatnot, and you're just constantly scrolling, and there are always things that are just out there that are just miserable. And those kind of things that included this sort of divide that was always there, but it was sort of exacerbated and made in full HD 4K in front of us during the first 3 months, and it felt remiss on our part to like not acknowledge it. So this is more of just a very gracious acknowledgement of that, because we are not like, even with the album, the EP name, Is It Time to Eat the Rich, the one that's coming out, we don't claim to be like a political band, because we're not. But this is just something that we couldn't help but acknowledge, if not try to shine a massive and bright light on. But yeah, that was the intention, at least.
But Easy Wake, Easy Bake really looks like, on the surface, it looks like, you're trying to have a dialogue with, somebody who has been very close to you, someone who is really beloved. But also at the same time, it comes across as an exasperation towards the establishment, towards the unfairness of, towards this whole unfairness of life and at large. So as individuals, before artists, as individuals, how deeply personal is the song for all four of you, if I may ask?
It definitely is very personal because it's literally written from the very roots of our individual brains. So it is our little baby. We put a lot of thought into it, put a lot of effort, a lot of work, long hours. Probably like songs like this take like a year in the making just to come to a place where we're all happy with it. But in terms of like lyrics and in terms of what the song means, like the way you just described it, you thought it was like an anti-society thing or a neoliberal sort of thing. One person thinks it's unrequited love, but that's the beauty of writing these songs. It's open interpretation. For example, if I say that I wrote this song, it's a love song to my Mercedes Benz. You can literally sing the song out to your car or to your bank balance, or to like your girlfriend, or to like something you really love or something you treasure. So I think it's definitely personal. When I think it's even more personal when people absorb the song and interpret it in their own way, which is even better. And if it helps you in terms of in getting through life or problems, I think our job is done. You know, it makes us feel better. If you feel better about it, if you connect with the song like the way we did, I think our job is done.
I think I agree with what Josh said. I mean, the way we wrote it obviously had personal, like, sort of moments in each of our lives that we personally relate to. But us talking about it probably stripped the song of some of its mystique, I would say. It was very personal to each of us. The interpretations we had writing the song did gradually evolve. We did touch upon different parts of our lives, whether it be something, a matter of the heart, or knowledge, or whatever it might be. At some point, a desire, a chase for, a love for, a thirst for something that you want so desperately sing about. That was basically what the song was about. We just wanted to keep it light and airy at the same time, give people something to dance to, because essentially that's what we want to do.
Yeah, I think they both pretty much covered everything that I would also say. Music making is a very, very personal, process for us. So we take a lot of time. Every song is like a baby we give birth to, so we kind of give a little bit of ourselves out into the world. So we take our time, honing the track and sitting on it, countless hours of mixing and production and sonically making sure we all agree and settle on the same thing. So, and it's also nice that what we think the song is going to be, it's never going to be that, because there's so many people listening to it and it's affecting their life and lifestyle so differently. Like the way you perceived it, it's not wrong or right. It's your perception of it, and it's totally, there's no right or wrong in that perception of the idea.
Yeah.
And each person is going to have a separate idea on the song, which is the most beautiful thing. Like Josh mentioned, it's going to be part of your life as well. It's not just ours, and we get to share that with everybody else. So it makes us, it's a personal journey for everybody when they're listening to the track. So that's the most fascinating bit.
As independent creators, you all have had a very illustrious journey from the time you all started in 2012, with Kaleidoscope in 2013, Trigger Punk'd in 2016, for which you all were awarded the Radio City Freedom Awards as the best rock act, and you all even won the best indie artist or young indie artist also. Firstly, congratulations there. I remember the last time, that's when I met the band in person at the red carpet of Radio City Freedom Awards, where you all posed really happily with the trophies. Then, of course, we had Weekend Friends in 2019, and then suddenly, early 2020, the world came to a standstill. It's now suddenly, it's like, I always ask artists that in the last one and a half year, it's suddenly become the moment of recognition for indie artists across the board, across languages, across genres, across cities. This has become like it's become a blessing in disguise for independent artists, this whole pandemic period, where now I've come across lots of people who have suddenly said, hey, we are listening to the F-16s, we are listening to this artist and that artist. So as artists, firstly, I'm sure this must have been such a testing period for all of you as band members, because firstly, you all wanted to put out a lot of work. You all would have had a lineup of shows and gigs planned, and everything suddenly came to a grinding halt. Firstly, how did you all see yourself through this through this phase? What kept you all going, and what kept you all still wanting to come on board and put in your best work?
During the first, at least when it first hit the pandemic, we kind of didn't know the extent of it. So early on, I think when the first few shows started getting cancelled, we were kind of still feeling things out. So no one really knew what was happening, but we could sense that there was something happening. So we decided, I think very impulsively actually, in hindsight, we decided to sort of all hole up together. So Josh and Shank lived together, and we decided we'll all kind of move there for a bit. And then Harshan got all of his gear from the studio, and then we just thought, okay, you know what? Let's just, since there was material that some of these songs on the CP are material that we've written prior to the pandemic, just prior, and we already had some of those ideas down. So we thought, like, let's finish it. Let's finish these songs, and that's kind of what kept us going. I think for the first month it was a little weird because within the first month itself, it was the longest we'd gone without playing shows.
Right.
And then went to the second month, and it didn't look like it was going to sort of improve or let up at any given point. So we just thought that this is what we have to do now. I mean, this is what we're good at also. This is making songs. Yes, there was a lot of push-pull from between all four of us. Because again, circumstantially, it was just a different set of circumstances. So there were moments when we were, bickering. There were moments when we were kind of just like
holding each other's necks.
Yeah.
Pinning each other to the ground.
Then hugging, kissing, whatever. It's all just within 5 minutes.
It was obviously a very weird time because no one knew. It was a what's the word for something new? No, there's a word. I'm sorry, but it's
no one knew the extent of this. Basically, no one knew how long this was going to go on. We just knew that this was something that was completely new to us. As in, we are a live band first and foremost. I mean, yes, we do. Thankfully, right? We can say ourselves that we write decent songs, but we are a live band, and showcasing all that material live is what we kind of do, and that's our, main USP and stuff. To have that little rug pulled out from under you was a little bit jarring at first, obviously. Oh, okay.
Novel.
Okay.
It was a novel time.
Yeah, it was novel. It was new.
Something we've never experienced before. And it's probably the first time we were huddled up in a house for 3 to 4 months together, waking up to each other's faces every morning, sleeping to each other's faces.
Yeah.
We do love each other very much, all four of us, but it gets a little, it's like four wives, in living in one house. It gets a bit too much. And then you have to work together to create music. So it was a tough time, and then you didn't have shows. One of our biggest sources of income was taken away from us. Then our liberty to leave the house was taken away from us.
Yeah, we're introverted as people generally. So technically that period of isolation should have been ideal on some level because we were just like, we don't have to go anywhere. But then we realized that the only reason we were the way we were prior to that was because we had these shows that would offset that every now and then. So you get to go somewhere, come back and resume your isolation. But even that was taken out. So then the prolonged and forced isolation was something that did mess with us for some time. But yeah, I think we did okay.
Yeah, and then after that we just wanted to, it's true. We are quite introverted people, I would say, but we wanted to go back to social distancing on our own terms, and not like not forced. So it was a good time. It was a tough time. We learned a lot of new things, experimented a lot, learned a lot about each other. But yeah, it still is a weird time. And 21 years later, we're still waiting for a gig.
But I think y'all did have the opportunity to perform after 10 months, I guess, in Mumbai only at Antisocial. So when y'all took the stage for the first time then, I'm sure it would have been a very, very thrilling experience to have, gotten back to the stage, even though if that happiness was pretty short-lived, because again, then we, rushed to the second phase of, and now it's like, things are obviously they're looking a bit on the brighter side now. The vaccinations having come in, and with everybody getting safer and being more taking more precautions, being more cautious with things. And things are looking on the brighter side. So how hopeful are you as a band that we can finally get to the stage again?
Extremely hopeful. We will see everybody in January onwards for our full album tour.
The idea is the hope. Yeah.
So they have 16s. I've been speaking to so many artists. In fact, just somewhere in May, I spoke to Ankur Tiwari and quite a few people who really love your work, who have always been such ardent admirers of the music that you all put out. But if I may ask the F16s, who do they love listening to when they are just sitting and unwinding with Earl Grey tea cakes and
tea cakes,
cup of coffee?
Indian artists?
Yeah.
Yes, Indian artists, yes.
There's a bunch. Peter Cat Recording Company, Parek and Singh, Disco Puppet from Bangalore, Ezzy Land from Chennai,
There's
Shantanu
like
Pandey.
some new artists, I think Ranj from Bangalore,
Yeah.
Mali from Chennai,
Mali.
we hang out with Mali a lot.
Yeah, Hanuman Kind from Bangalore.
Hanuman Kind, yeah.
Hanuman Kai, yeah.
Yeah, the entire Kerala rap scene that's blowing up, Parimal Shahs, Kari Chatti, the whole movement, and even coming down south, MC Devesh, you have really interesting people like slamming it. Also, like on occasion, listen to Aribu and everybody else, and
Yes.
it's beautiful. It's not something that we're usually used to in our indie circles, but yeah, I guess like the pandemic does give you enough time to just, take a moment to breathe. Like I think even before the pandemic, we had aims of writing a record, but we were postponing it till either show or something. We would just stop dead in our tracks and we were like, okay, we're not going to walk out of this with nothing. Already we're walking out of this with stress and lesser fucking all of these things. But like, at least let's make a record for what it's worth. Sorry for cursing on it. But, yeah, stressful times. But yeah, I'm glad we came out together stronger than we went into it, I guess, in some ways. And this entire record was fully done by ourselves, from the visual to the audio to writing the songs and the lyrics, and sitting in the studio that Harsh was sitting in and producing.
I want to talk about the music video of Easy Bake Easy Bake, which I believe has been directed by Lendrick Kamar. I don't know. I'm wondering, is the name inspired by Kendrick Lamar or by any sorts? I don't know.
Yeah.
And Prayul Sajeev. So I believe, Josh, these are your old friends. You all have worked together, collaborated together before, and of course, knowing each other's energies and creative inputs. Of course, you trusted them with the music video of this single. But how did this entire process come in being? And then, of course, shooting this music video during a pandemic would have had, come with its fair set of challenges and hurdles. So, first of all, how did this whole process fall in place?
So I met Lendrick online and we started chatting because I would seen his work, and he came to Chennai prior to the F16 shoot for music video for J-Babe, which is my solo project, and we worked on that together. All the boys were part of it, helping out, trying to shoot it. It was it was another novel thing. We had never sat with the director who stayed with us and ideated. It never happened. We'd just be like, here's the director, here's the music, you make the video. But this was far more personal. Everyone was involved, and that entire process was beautiful, and that kind of built that fellowship with the director and artist, and So after that, bond was formed with the first music video, which is called Punch Me in My Third Eye, by the way. The boys were inspired. We were all inspired. All of us fell in love with each other. It was. We just clicked, with Lendrick Kumar, and so we called him back the second time. We were like, we have another song, and again, he stayed in Chennai for a week. We all sat down, brainstormed for a week, came up with the entire idea. Came up with 3 different story plots, came up with 3 different scripts, and then just huddled up our closest friends, pulled a few favors here and there. Extremely DIY shoot. We styled it ourselves, we got the clothes stitched ourselves, we rented the gear ourselves, we did the recce for the place ourselves, and we planned it out, went for one day and executed the entire video in one day.
One day?
That was a lot. In one day. That was a lot of work. We were extremely fatigued by the end of it for sure. But all worth it. Yeah.
I think we put a lot of thought into elevating our visual language with this record in particular. We never really worked with directors like Josh had said, making a great film for the music, and having found someone like Lendrick who instantly clicked with is a moment to cherish. It's easy working with them. I think it was important for us to address that part of our journey as well, because moving away from Weekend Friends, moving to this, it had to be a company with strong visual direction, Something that would like cheer people up at the end of the day as well, because we're all in, the same kind of a morose sort of time. So yeah, came together pretty well. And also knowing that as a band or as indie bands, you're left with, say, an X amount of budget, which is not as good as, say, a commercial would be. So how could we possibly stick our brains together to make something very nice and give other bands the same idea? Like, you just need to stick your brains together. You don't need 10 lakhs to make a video. It would be nice. But
Would be nice.
circumstances. It would be circumstances, right? You got to do the best you can. So I think we look at it from that way. Like, what's the best we can do with what we have?
Truly, I think, I think in the last 1 year, 1.5 years, ever since our premier leader told us to get more self-reliant and, be dependent on ourselves for things. I think artists especially have really walked the talk as far as that is concerned, because I think everyone who I speak about Easy Wake, Easy Bake has only one thing to say, that the music video is possibly the best, piece of art that they've seen in recent times. And I think that speaks highly about, the dedication and the love that you guys have towards your craft. And all I can say is there's a reason why the world loves the F-16s. And this is the reason, because when they wake up with the sheer resolve and drive to make the world a better place with their art, and they really put their heart and soul into it. And all I can say is I wish you all the very best, the F-16s, and I cannot wait for the EP, which finally releases on October 22nd. Of course, we are here, we will be listening, the world will be listening, but I wish you all the best, and I can only hope that more wonderful music keeps coming our way from the band, because we know that the F-16s is all this and so much more. Thank you so much for joining.
That's so nice. That's so nice.
I love that.
So kind.
It was actually really nice. Yeah, it was really heartwarming.
Gonna make me cry on radio, man.
Oh. Anyway, but I hope, the next time maybe the band is in Mumbai, I would love to attend a show and watch you guys. And hopefully, if I'm ever coming to Chennai again, which I highly doubt in the near future, I've been to Chennai only once all my life. Even though technically I'm supposed to be a home girl, I've been to the city only once. And I really hope there is an opportunity, that presents itself in future where I can actually see you up there live, performing to all the wonderful songs that you all have made for us over the years.
That'd be great. We would love that too.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
This was probably the best interview we've done so far.
Definitely.
Oh my God! Okay, I am just taking this bit and I'll put it on my Instagram. Yes, George said it.